After that,
look at that spaceship Starship Enterprise. The great car. You see a Gorn on the side of the window. That's cool.
At 3 o'clock, we also have
But we're headed over there. I'll explain in a minute what we're doing. Anyways, what up YouTube? This is your president, the presidential tourist. I'm in Mulberry, Florida. This is called PrehistoriCon. They're basically supposed to have like a car show, fossil stuff, dinosaur stuff, steampunk. They're having a, say there's some of the cars there, which we'll get to in a little bit. Vendors, you know, things like that. So I'm here just to film it. I remember hearing about this before. I just didn't get a chance to come, so come here and check it out, see what's all about. I think the Mulberry Phosphate Museum is one of the ones with this, and I think the people who does Sci-Fi Bartow is organizing this too. Anyways, we'll go around, walk around, check it out. Awesome.
Mulberry and Mulberry Phosphate Museum, keeping Mulberry's history alive.
Cool.
If you have any questions or song requests, please don't hesitate to come up here to the info booth.
That's awesome.
I'm about to sit there and turn things over to MC Sean. He's going to take over on DJ capabilities for a moment.
This guy working around with one of those like baby dinosaur puppet things.
Everybody's walking around here with this amazing food. It's smelling delicious.
Okay, that's cool. Look at that thing.
Guys, enjoy the rest of your day.
What's up, mate?
Oh, hey. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Fine. You were, yeah, you were at Fossil, or, yeah, I remember you.
I've been working at the ID table over the talks.
Yeah, that's cool. I sent you the link to your interview that I did.
Yeah, I saw.
Okay, was it okay and everything?
Yeah, look good, thanks.
Yeah, 'cause I don't interview a lot of people, and I always wonder if I did okay or not.
Yeah, that was good.
So how you doing?
So far, so great. How about yourself today?
Doing okay. Just, first time I've been at this event. Definitely quite a drive for me, but I'm glad to be here.
Where are you driving out from?
You know.
Well, I drove out from Orlando, which, as you know, Orlando is only an hour away from Orlando, so that's its own drive.
Definitely.
But
so what's this all about?
So we are Dinosaurs Will Always Be Awesome. We're a non-profit mobile museum. We actually have real and replica fossils that we bring out to libraries, schools, community centers, and really any place that doesn't have access to a beautiful museum of their very own, because I believe that everyone deserves the right to put their hands on a genuine dinosaur bone and have that wonderful experience. So I'm a real paleontologist. I've dug up dinosaurs all over the world. I've published a few things, and I've had such a great experience throughout my entire life, and I want to bring that to other people. I'm a former classroom teacher. I've used to work in museums, and now I've created my own where I can bring these out with the help of my dinosaur ambassadors like P.O Box over there, and my friend Ajax, the baby Apatosaurus, who comes out with me as well. And I'm happy to be here. This is my 3rd year at PrehistoriCon. I've been here since the beginning, and I don't see any signs of slowing down now.
Awesome. How does someone become a professional paleontologist?
Well, you start as an amateur paleontologist, and you just keep failing up.
Who's having a good
Honestly,
time today?
paleontology really requires you to do 2 things.
Everybody,
you have to have a question about the
third year here in Mulberry, Florida. We love
and then you have to try and solve that answer yourself. You have to try and find answers to that question.
It's going to continue.
Going a little bit further with that, though, you look and see if others have tried to answer that question.
You want to check back in on PrehistoriCon,
so you do a little bit of independent research and see if other people have tried to find that question.
Check out our website. We have a lot of other events coming up in the next 7 or 8 months, actually. So
the hardest thing you do in paleontology,
we're going to be doing our great inflatable dinosaur race
to change your
around
question.
2:30
the answer wasn't what you hoped it would be.
Then we're going to have a costume
and that's
contest.
Part I think a lot of people have difficulty
following that.
So
I've already seen some really great costumes as we're walking around today.
The science is such a process. Science is a verb. You know, paleontology is a living science, a very, very good thing. And so the more that we learn,
dazzled and entertained by a really awesome belly dancing group.
Right until it's
they were
wrong.
Here last year, helping us out, and I'm glad they're back
new
this
discoveries
year.
that happen all the time, they contribute to our overall knowledge, and we have to build upon that and take the next step. So if you're trying to become a paleontologist, ask yourself a question about, I wonder if an animal did this.
Check out
Watching this right now, think about something in the natural world. Think about a prehistoric animal that you love. Think about the way that a creature ate. Does your favorite dinosaur have a favorite food? Does your favorite dinosaur prefer one season over another? What did your favorite dinosaur do when it got cold outside? Think about that.
Be able to put a dinosaur in your picture.
And then think about how you would find an answer to that question. And then go and see if someone else has found an answer to that already, and how you would potentially research that. And as you go through finding that answer, this is the process of how science works. You find something really interesting, you develop an answer around it, and then you tell other people. That's what paleontology is. You take something that is an interesting idea, you apply what you know to something we don't know, and you try to make the breadth of human knowledge a little bit greater as a result. So that's what it takes to be a paleontologist.
Isn't it kind of difficult to kind of assume what dinosaurs' behavior was, because we can't actually observe them? So do they usually just use like modern day reptiles to kind of assume what it might have been?
Not necessarily. So behavior is one thing that, true, doesn't fossilize. However, the evidence of behaviors can. One of my good friends, Dr. Dean Lomax, has written a fantastic book that I highly recommend everybody read. It's called Locked in Time. He actually covers on multiple occasions, he looks at specific fossils that have actually recorded behavioral interactions.
Like when two dinosaurs are fighting, they die together and they get fossilized?
That's one of the famous ones. I'm talking about situations where here's a kind of prehistoric horseshoe crab that fell down into an area that was an anoxic layer. So it came down into an area where there was no oxygen at the bottom of the ocean, and it skitters around on this sand layer, leaving behind a trail. And you're following as it's trying to find its way out of this area, but the water is so deep and there's like no oxygen in it, and then you come up to the animal itself. Or you're seeing places where the interaction between two creatures that's captured in this. Or there's even one case where there's an amber with an insect in it, and there's a gas bubble coming out of the thorax of the animal because they have a fossilized preserved fart. Like these things that are behavioral issues, behavioral instances that have been captured in fossil remains. This is the loudest interview I think you ever conducted. There's so much going on around you, but this stuff is good. Keep watching. Focus on me. When you read through this, you can see that we can interpret what the fossils are telling us from just the bones. But our processes and the way that we study the fossils now has changed. If I come and I find a fossil foot, I'm not just going to dig out the foot anymore. I find a foot, great. I drop a pin on my Maps app.
If you want to sign up for the Great Inflatable Dinosaur Race, I have the waiver forms up here at the EJ booth. Come on up, sign up if you got your inflatable costume with you today.
They're very loud here, guys, very loud.
Be one of our awesome first, second, or third place.
Alright, so if I drop a pin and I find where a foot is, I'm not just going to start digging out the foot. I'm actually going to look at the whole area where this foot is, because now I want to know what's the environment around this thing. What kind of plants are nearby can tell me the time of the year. What other creatures can I find? Turtles or frogs? Do I find little small mammals? Can tell me what the biome is. I want to know more about this particular area. Do I find any coprolites? Can I find leftover droppings? Can I find insects? Those other things around just the bone tell the story of what's happening. It's not just about find me as many bones as I can get and get them into the museum anymore. Finding the fossil is just step one to telling a much larger paleontological story from every dig site we find.
And one more thing, and I'll let you go. Can you briefly explain how we come about how they sound? Because I know there's different theories on how, say, a T-Rex sounded. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Of course. So, as we discover more things about dinosaurs, we're learning how tall they are, how fast they move. We can find some of the things that we can measure based off of physical. But the things that don't require necessarily the hard pieces are still a little bit lost to us. We have creatures like our Parasaurolophus here with the big crest on the head. We've known for a while that the hollow openings inside of the skull are resonating chambers, and as air passes through we can cause resonations. We've done this back in the 90s. We can actually make resonating sounds and mimic the calls of a Parasaurolophus. We've known this one for a while. That's kind of been the only one we've known for a while. A couple of years ago, about 2 years ago I think, we found the fossilized, not the syrinx, but it's the hyrax I think it's called. It's the essentially fossilized vocal cords of a creature called Panachosaurus. It's kind of like an ankylosaur. So like an armored dinosaur, walks on all fours, not a club tail, but a little pointed tail. And we had fossilized vocal cords of this creature. So we could kind of figure out, now that we've got fossilized soft tissue, we can get a sense of what those structures look like. If we can recreate the structures, digitally at least, now we can recreate what they would look like and kind of get a sense of how they might have moved. And once we can figure out how they might have moved, we can apply what they sound like with air. I was reading 2 days ago about an artist named Courtney something, I want to say, Courtney Davis, I believe. Her work is called Roar, R-A-W-R, and she did something called the Dinosaur Choir. So she actually took the skull of another hadrosaur along with some professors at the University of Alberta, and she actually created the 3D printed skull of a Corythosaurus, used a Raspberry Pi and a web-based bird sound emulator. So we actually have technology to turn human speech into bird language. We're there, folks. We made it happen. So she took this and adapted it to fit the parameters of the resonating chambers of a Corythosaurus. She then connected this to a microphone in the Raspberry Pi, so when people come up to the Corythosaurus and they blow into it or they make vocalizations into it, it comes through, it's adapted by the machine, and it produces Corythosaurus sounds. So she's recently made this thing that allows us to emulate the sound of a dinosaur. Is it exactly what they sound like? We don't know. But it's really cool, and it applies by looking at the hard structures that are there, applications of the soft tissue that we've been able to find, and an understanding of the physics that go into how creatures make noise. So by looking at the hows and applying what we know in the living animals, and applying that to the prehistoric animals, that's how we start to make these homologous applications to understand what dinosaurs sound like.
All right, very awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Well, they have a variety of vendors selling different stuff, not just like fossil stuff or gems, but other kinds of merchandise, especially a lot of jewelry. So,
here you go, guys. They'll tell you all about it. That's another one of our events we do.
A lot of cool shark stuff here. Well, that's awesome. That's cool. I've seen some people walk around dressed up with that steampunk stuff. So they do have some of that here, like I said.
You know, we have our main sponsor today, Mulberry Florida. We have some great
a lot of mineral stuff here for sale. I'm not going to show too much of this. A little bit.
Over here, we're now near the kids area. Lots of vendors today.
Looks like they have a pan for gold thing here.
Everything from Godzilla.
That's cool for the kids. Say they have a dunk tank. Oh yeah, I heard they were going to have a mermaid here that you can get your picture with. There she is over there.
You guys want to gather around over here? This is a show you don't want to miss.
Some more vendors and different stuff. But look at this thing. One of those inflatables with a big dinosaur. Look how cool that thing is. Awesome. That's awesome. Lakeland. Oh, this is Family Reptiles. Yeah, I've seen them before. I think saw them at Repticon, this place. They must have like little reptiles for you to look at. And look, I heard that they were going to have dinosaur for you to like ride. And they do. How cool that thing looks. That is awesome. vendors for food and everything. I noticed they've been having this train here going around, and it's free to ride. So I got in the very last one, and I'm going to ride it. It's pretty cool. Gotta make sure I hold on to my hat. I don't want that to blow off. There's that dinosaur back there.
Are you ready? Okay, good.
Just waiting to take off.
We got a snake there.
Cool. Some awesome vehicles. That was a cool little ride. Okay, that was awesome. That was a cool little ride. This is cool. This is some like virtual reality thing you could ride. VR experience. Looks like it's $15 per ride. It's cool. Show you some of these cool cars. I actually see driving around once in a while cars that's been all done up like this once in a while, and it's always cool to see them. That Jurassic Park logo. The Jurassic Park logo, I think, is one of the coolest logos ever, I think. It just, I don't know, it just does it. And look, that makes it look like that container where that they kept was a Velociraptor, and that he pulled that guy in and killed him. And like the first one, that's what that's supposed to be looking like. That is cool. And then over here is another one. Really awesome. This isn't as done as much, but still pretty cool. Then we have a couple more Jeeps. Cool old motorcycle. Here's another one. They said they have some food options. This is Red's Catering. Renee's Artifacts. There's a lot of different kinds of, like, there's a lot of different vendors. Probably more vendors here than anything. Remember I mentioned the Mulberry Phosphate Museum right there? I actually vlogged that place a couple times. And they have really cool fossils. Not a very big museum, but they have a lot of cool stuff. It's been a number of years since I've been there. It's actually only a few minutes from where I'm at right now. But alright. Anyway, we'll walk around and show you some more of the stuff. Alright, some different vendors. There's a lot of fossil stuff, a decent amount of them. Some different gems and stuff you can buy, like I've been pointing out. Oh, like a little fossil dig. Yeah, this is pretty much what I expected it to be. It's kind of like a mini, like, you know how I filmed Fossil Fest a couple weeks ago? It's kind of like a smaller version of it, but with just a lot, vendors selling some other stuff too. And some other things like a mermaid, obviously. I was worried about parking, but they have a really big parking lot there for like the Badcock Administration Building. And I was told that's where the public parking was going to be. That's where we parked, so the parking was okay. Awesome.
So we do 3D printing and full cosplay work. This is actually kind of the info on it.
Okay. And do you got a website?
Yes, we do. DungeonGuildPrinting.com.
Awesome. They got a lot of cool stuff here.
Yeah, we go from the small cutesy things all the way up to the full custom cosplay and even life-size Pokemon.
That's cool. What is that supposed to be? Is that like a giant sandworm?
Yes. So this is a full campaign set for D&D.
How much would something like that be?
For the whole set, we're selling that for $80.
Okay. Because
they are all hand-painted.
Like that. Right, awesome, thank you. That's very interesting. Well, I was going to walk around and show you those cars, but they're all taken off for some reason right now. I thought they'd be here for the whole con, but no. Must be it, or unless they're going to come around again, I don't know. Here's one of the last ones. Okay. Not sure why they didn't stay the whole time, but it's got a little bit for you. Looks like this is the people who create this park. We, the Badcock, Poe, and Baber families, dedicate this park to the many employees, past and present, who made Badcock a regular house of name. We know that if it were not for you, their hard work, dedication, talents, we would have been a short-lived furniture franchise. We dedicate this to them with pride and honor. Okay, that's cool. They're going to be doing some inflatable dinosaur costume races.
First one that comes up with this, you'll get one shot. I'm going to get out of your way and do the on your mark and second Chicago. I'm going to have, let's see, Lori's down there, Randy's here, got who's A. Okay, so I need to make sure I see who comes in first, second, and third, okay? Oh. Curtis, are you still in the sound of my voice, Curtis?
No. You got Jose right there. Turn around. Jose's right behind you.
I hear him, I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Curtis, come to the dinosaur race. Curtis, take a right. There you go. And you've been drinking that Raptor juice again.
Curtis, go down there.
Come down here to me.
I love you.
All right, now I got all my people in place. All right. I got a deflated T-Rex head. You all right over there? He was obviously in a fight with a Brontosaurus. All right, on your marks. Clear the field. Get set. Run. Two and three. All right, Randy, did you get extra strength? Oh, sorry. All right. My Triceratops is trapped.
That's cool.
All right, we're gonna let the little one run. On your mark, get set, go. Woo!
They had another one. I guess the one kid got too scared.
Yeah, we're doing a big picture here of you guys.
But that was another inflatable race. So they gave me each gold medal and stuff like that. No, it's not quite the Olympics, but I guess it's still kind of cool. Yeah, a couple events happen in this area. They're going to have the historical Bartow Ghost Stroll, hosted by PrehistoriCon. It's like it's 20 per person. Some information for it. Oh.
There's more information on it.
Thank you. You gave me a brochure. I saw about this online, then I saw about this over here. So, definitely always stuff happening. They have information booths set up about it. Well, this was pretty cool. It was generally what I expected. I didn't expect it to be very big because I seen a map of the location ahead of time, so I knew it was going to be about this size. It was worth coming up here. I saw a lot of cool vendors selling some cool stuff. I didn't really buy anything this time. The only thing we did, right over there was a spin a wheel, and whatever it landed on, you get to pick like a gemstone or something. And we landed on the thing where you can pick any one you want. And Mom was with me. She picked out this sparkly rock that she liked. But yeah, I interviewed that guy over there. He was very interesting. And I even talked to him about doing an interview in the future. Someplace a little bit more quiet. So I have more, can ask him a lot more questions. Because especially about dinosaurs, there's like a gazillion things that I like to ask. So we're going to set that up. I got his car and I gave him mine. But yeah, I just want to just show you around for another minute more. But yeah, a lot of cool vendors, like I said. Okay, I'm probably going to get going because I got quite a drive home. I am very hot. It is roasting out here. And I just, I got to get a cold drink. I wish I could have showed you those cars over there. I was heading over there then all of the days took off, so I'm not sure that was planned or what. But they weren't there too long. This thing went on from 10 to 5, and they left about 2, so they didn't stay the whole time. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to really show you. It didn't look like a lot of really like older classic cars. It seemed more newer, fancier ones, but I am not a car expert, so don't go take my word for it, but that's what it looked like to me. A lot of the really fast, fancy ones. But alright, any comments, questions, let me know. Thank you for watching. Bye, everybody. Okay, time to get going. Any comments, questions, put them below. Thanks for watching. Bye.